That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
You are being lied to. You're being tricked into a way of thinking and a way of running your business that only benefits others. I'm Sabrina Chevannes and I'm known as the No Bullshit entrepreneur. That's because I tell things how they really are. I show the highs and the lows of entrepreneurships, not just the success stories and the beautiful case studies and our highlight reel of our amazing lives when things are going really, really well. No, I show the screw-ups, the really down times, and the times when we just have no idea what we're doing and we're just miserable, because that's what entrepreneurship is like. It's a massive up and down roller coaster. Now, I've been helping founders sniff out the bullshit for nearly a decade now, and there are just the similar common complaints that I always hear. In fact, recently, I went viral on LinkedIn with a post that I created summarising basically all of the bullshit that I saw on LinkedIn in 2024. And boy, was there a lot of it. I think the reason why this went viral is because people are starting to get so sick and tired of the bullshit on LinkedIn and other social media platforms where people are just faking it until they make it, or sometimes not making it, because bullshit doesn't bring you success. Now, the reason why I'm so passionate about showcasing what's bullshit and what's not is because I've fallen for it. I've been exactly where you are now, and you're trying to scan the internet for great advice and you just fall for this beautiful advertising and this well executioned dialogue and this beautiful landing page of offers that just sound too good to be true. I've done it all. I've bought courses, I've joined masterminds, I've had coaching off complete con artists, and I've wasted thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds. So I am here to make sure you don't make those same mistakes that I did. This video is going to bring you my top 7 lies that I see in the world of entrepreneurship in 2024, and I want to help expose this so we can eradicate this bullshit in 2025 and hope for a much more honest and sustainable business journey for everyone. So first of all, people aren't making anywhere near as much money as they claim to be. Now, almost everyone I've spoken to has said that they inflate their numbers on social media. After all, you're supposed to look successful online because otherwise people don't want to go with you, apparently, if you don't look successful. But I found that actually in this day and age, people respect honesty a lot more. If you hold your hands up and say, look, I'm really struggling at the moment, good people will actually be like, hey, you're really good at what you do. I will give you some business. I didn't know you were struggling. Here we go. So actually, sometimes showing off and showing that you are this big, hotshot, successful person doesn't always work. But I have seen so many claims all the time on social media going, I'm making this amount of money, I'm making 6-figure months. All of that is bullshit. Almost every single one of those people who brag about their income are not making anywhere near that much money. Think about it. Think about the actual richest people that you know. How many of them are posting online about how much money they earn? None of them. How many people are walking around showing off their Rolexes or their Chanel handbags? None of them. That's because it's normal to them to have wealth. Other people need to manufacture the image of them looking successful. They're not earning that much money. Oh my God, fake awards. This is one of the lamest things I've seen, but it's so common. Do you know how many times I get emailed asking me to put my name forward for an award that doesn't even exist? I've been told I've won Top Entrepreneur of the Year or Most Inspiring Businesswoman of the Year, all for these companies that don't even exist. In fact, when you actually read it, they're asking you to pay for the privilege to get this fake title and to have your picture photoshopped on the front of a fake magazine that absolutely goes nowhere. It's all a scam. It's a great money-making scheme for these companies, basically feeding off people's egos. The ones who are desperate for fame and attention, so they will pay to be on the front cover of a fake magazine. There are so many people I see who are like award-winning this, award-winning that, and they're putting logos and magazine covers everywhere. Most of it is bullshit. None of it exists, and these awards don't really matter. How many times have you looked and thought, oh, that person won that award, they must be good at what they do? No, only the big real industry awards really have clout. And only the best people get those. So if you ever see people who have claimed to have all these different awards and you've never really heard of them, just do a quick Google search. Do they look legitimate, or do they look like the ones that you just pay for fake PR? Because I know who I'd rather trust. There is a massive rise in the number of courses that are going on at the moment. That's because there are people out there teaching people how to run a course on how to run a course on how to run a course. It's getting quite ridiculous, but courses are all over the place. There are new platforms to run courses from. There are just new material everywhere because it's apparently the ideal passive income. Now, the problem is most of these people who are running courses, they're actually just nicking the material of other courses that they've subscribed to. So they've paid $27 for the course and they've just completely taken the entire content and just put it together in another course. It's all a big con because how are people going to find out? There are so many people now doing courses that they're just recycling material. And the worst bit, most of the material is AI generated and not even any good. So you could have just put that prompt into ChatGPT and come up with the same content. Instead, you've just wasted your money. On that note, another type of massive bullshit content out there is the need to try and create passive income. At the moment, there are so many people building their channels, giving people this dream that they can make money while they sleep. They could be on a desert island somewhere, living life, and actually just having money come into their bank account. But if you think about it, look at all the richest people in the world, because lots of people define success as having wealth. But if we're talking money here, think about the richest people that you know. How many of them have just a passive income business? How many of them are having a drop shipping company? None of them are doing that. They're all running legitimate businesses because that stuff doesn't work. And they potentially could have a team of minions running a dropshipping business if it's that simple and really makes that much money. Because if it is a genuine profitable business that you can make money in your sleep, why wouldn't they pay someone to do that? Think about it. Be realistic with it. Passive income like this so simply does not exist. It takes time to build up a genuine passive income. And this comes from experience, from credibility, from all of these different things that take time. Unfortunately, there are no shortcuts. Oh, one of my favorite things in 2024 has been the fact that so many people are showing off their amazing brand deals that they've got with their famous favorite brands who are paying them to create beautiful content, and they get paid to go away to these gorgeous hotels and they're getting everything for free. No, they're not. They are paying for this. Now, I know someone who forked out £7,500 on a holiday to hire a content team, pay for this fancy hotel, to pay for all the food and drinks and everything and massages and everything throughout this week of holiday, just so that they look like they're successful and they had a brand deal and that hotel paid them to be there to make content. It's pretty sad. So they actually forked out $7,500 of their own money in order to look like they were being paid that much money to create the content. And there are so many other people who are now just drinking coffee or having a beer or writing in their favorite journal and then putting paid partnership with their brand and making it look like they got that stuff for free. Oh no, they paid for it and they're making that content off their own backs. Now, UGC is a thing and people build it up and they do free content in order to gain brand deals later down the line. But they're just showing what they can do. Other people are actually lying about it. So for those people you've seen out there who seem to be just landing brand deal here, left, right, and center, and you're doing the same stuff as them, think twice. They may not actually be landing those brand deals. So just keep going, keep creating that UGC content, keep doing what you're doing and doing the right thing, because your deals will come. So one of the biggest topics on LinkedIn at the moment is the topic of engagement pods. Now, for those who don't know what they are essentially groups of people, and you just drop in your link to your post and everyone jumps on and they comment and they like that post, and it helps boost your post to this infamous algorithm and helps it show to more people. Now, this has been going on Instagram for a while, and people are aware of it, and LinkedIn now is absolutely rife with it, and there's so many people speaking up about it because it's made the content really poor on there. And you'll see a post on there and you'll see all these automated AI comments, and they're just such drivel, and it's just painful to see this content on your feed. And now what we've realized is that almost every single top creator is in a pod with almost every single other top creator, and they're all in these pods together, and there's like hundreds of them out there. And so all you see is a piece of content and all the same people writing the same generic posts on every single one of them. And it's horrible. And suddenly every post by them is going viral. So what it's doing is causing real creators who are spending their time thinking about their content and really trying to come up with really great stuff to feel like they are just not worthy. There's a mad imposter syndrome being caused and lack of self-confidence because they're seeing other people do it, and they're writing screenshots and just putting agree ? And it will go viral. And they're like, how is this possible? And people have spent hours writing this heartfelt message, creating a beautiful carousel, and crickets. That's because they are manipulating the algorithm. All that engagement is fake. Now, what you've got to realize is go back to why you are creating content. If you are creating content for that vanity metrics, then fine, go do that. If you just want to look popular and look like loads of people agree with your content and enjoy it and, you know, make you look smart, then fine, that might work, but that is just all for show. If you're actually on social media trying to create content because you actually want to build a brand and actually earn money and build a legitimate business, then that stuff doesn't matter. All you care about are your real customers, the ones who actually want to absorb your content and make sure it's quality for that reason. So I would much rather have 10 loyal people show up to my post and interact with it in a real way than thousands and thousands of people who are just fake, who are never ever going to buy my things. So what you've got to realize is when you're creating content, ignore all that noise because majority of it is fake. Those people aren't getting the numbers that you think they are. Look at the content, look at actually the quality of the responses that they're getting. Are they actually meaningful? Or are they just summed up agreements of the person's post? Real meaningful comments are very, very human, and the ones that are in the engagement pod definitely aren't. Now, I think my biggest lie of 2024 has to be from those people who are showing up every single day, giving entrepreneurial advice and, you know, talking about what they've learned and all these different things. And guess what? They've never had a business. And you're probably thinking, this is ridiculous. How could this happen? There are people out there like that. Now, I get that business is hard and it takes time. You may not have had a massively successful business. You may not have had, you know, many different places that you've been to or many different events that you've spoken to, or like maybe you haven't had many products that you've sold. Fine. But if you're out there trying every single day and you're failing every single day, you're still running a business. You're still an entrepreneur and you're still showing up and trying and failing because that's what we do. However, there are people who have done none of that. There are people who are literally employed in another company but pretending they're running a business. There are people who are just sitting at home with daddy's money and are pretending they're running a business, all because they want the attention. Every single one of their posts is churned out by ChatGPT, and all they're trying to do is build up a bunch of fake following and a bunch of, you know, people who actually also then do hang off their every word, because then later on they're going to sell a course on how to run a business and how to build up a following and be like, I got to 100k followers doing this, buy my course on this. So that's all it is. It's a slow burn in order to sell a course later down the line, but they've actually not done anything. Now, after absorbing all of that, how on earth do you know what's bullshit and what's not? Well, I think the first thing that you need to do and need to realize is that almost more things out there now are fake than real. It's a sad truth, but there's such a big fake it till you make it culture, so more things are actually fake. And there's more pressure on social media to look successful. So people are just doing all sorts of things to kind of look like they're this big hotshot entrepreneur, and they're selling advice and courses and all these sort of things to make money on the side. Now, I would say that you need to do your research. Just Google these people, see what comes up. Now, if nothing comes up, that's a bit odd. If they are selling business advice and all these years of experiences and they don't even have an internet presence, that's very suspicious. Speak to customers, speak to clients, like speak to people who've worked with them. If you can't find these people, again, red flag. If you can and it's negative, red flag. There are people who are out there trying to run a business and failing. Again, this is hard. Everyone fails. Everyone has their ups and downs. That's okay. But if you can't find anything, or you're only finding bad stuff and things just don't add up, then listen to those red flags. So in light of all of this information, how do you know what's bullshit and what's not? Well, it's pretty difficult, and that's why my job out there is to help you stay safe and understand what's real and what's not. So please do like and subscribe to this channel if you actually find this really useful. Plus, if you want to help contribute and you are suspicious, please drop me a message. I'm always happy to confirm things. And I've actually started a bullshit of the week, thanks to everyone else's requests on me doing more of this stuff and showing what's real and what's not. So much that I've started submissions for this, and you can actually find a Google form in the description below where you could submit what you consider is to be a bullshit post and see if your pick makes a bullshit of the week every Sunday. And the video will drop on this channel in my lessons of the week too, as well as on LinkedIn. So please go find me there and follow me there. But I really hope that you found this useful and you found it enlightening, because that's what it should be. It shouldn't be dwelling on people doing bad things, because you know what? Let's ignore the people doing bad things and focus on ourselves. But actually, this is about trying to highlight what's real and what's not, and trying to show what sort of things that you should not be doing, because these are tactics that do not work and they're being exposed, and it's not how you run a legitimate business. Those are my 7 biggest lies of 2024, but I hope you found them useful, and I will see you in the next video.